My name is Optimus Prime.
What up, what up, what up? You got Fatal Optimus in the house. I got a gameplay for you guys on Discovery. This is not me in the very beginning. As you can tell, the other team had a full team. My team, for some reason, only had 3. But actually, they still ended up catching B from the beginning. So I decided from there, I'm just going to put on my Slayer pants and just go to town. Why I'm using the MP5 on this map, I have no idea. This is a long-range map with a lot of long line of sight. And I guess I must have been using the MP5 in a match previously, but I ended up doing pretty decently. And yeah. Oh, excuse me, guys. Just waking up, so I'm a little tired. Anyways, I wanted to talk about my first trip to Guam. Now, I believe this was back in '09. I went there, and for those of you that don't know what Guam is, it's a small little island in the Pacific Islands. It's actually in the chain of the Marianas, which is the Marianas is where the deepest part of the ocean is. I want to say it's like 4 miles deep or something like that. I honestly don't know the exact numbers, but I know it's the deepest part of the ocean. Now, Guam itself is a very small island. I want to say it's tiny. Like, it's probably way smaller than Rhode Island. You know, it's probably as big as one of your cities or something. And while I was there, I actually do have a lot of family that lives there. My grandfather, he's from Guam. And during World War II, he was actually a POW when the Japanese invaded Guam. And when the Americans liberated the island, he enlisted in the military, and yeah, he served 20 years in the Navy from then on. So what happened? Oh yeah, so the first day I pulled into Guam, I had been in contact with one of my aunts that I never really met. I guess I had met her when I was a very small child, but I don't really remember her. And what I did during the day was I would go out to lunch and hang out with family, and then at night I would go and do my thing. Excuse me, I'm still for some reason a little cold, having a cold. But what did I want to say? Oh yeah, so the first day my aunt took me around the island and showed me all the spots. And Guam is such a beautiful island. It's a tropical island, you know, clear blue waters. There's a reef. It's really pretty. If you ever get a chance to, you know, really hit me up on like Skype or something, I'll show you pictures. It's a beautiful place. So we went around the island, and then we went out and met with some of my family that I have never met before, and they're, you know, my grandfather's cousins. And it's really weird because my last name is a very common name, or very common last name, like Johnson or Smith would be here. And yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. So the first night, you know, around like 6 or 7, I got back to my hotel room. And when I was there, I had been out to sea for like a month and a half, almost 2 months at that point. So I had saved up a lot of money. So I kind of splurged with my hotel room, and I got a suite. And the suite overlooked Tumon Bay, which is the main area for people to go party in, the main tourist area. And it was really pretty. You can see, you know, where the reef ends and where the ocean starts, and it was really amazing. It was a really nice suite. It had like a jacuzzi tub and all this crazy stuff. But from when I got to my hotel room, I had gotten a phone call, or I had gotten a message from one of my buddies. He was like, "Hey, we're going to be going to this club. Meet me here." Or meet me at my hotel room. So I went to one of the stores in Guam that they have, and they have them in Hawaii, and I want to say it's Hawaii and Guam. I don't know about any of the other islands, but it's the ABC store, if I remember correctly. It's basically just like a 7-Eleven. But they have, you know, a lot more of a touristy things like, you know, Guam pennants or shit like that. So I went out and bought like, you know, a small bottle of Goose, you know, Grey Goose vodka, because at the time that's really what I drank, was just a lot of vodka and cranberry, vodka and orange juices and whatnot. So we went out and we went to this club that was maybe like, or I met up with my buddies on the beach, we drank, and then we went to this club that was, I want to say, maybe a block from where I was staying. Well, not too far. It was really, really everything in that area was really, together. So it was very easy to go and get things. And I got trashed. There were fights, typical freaking, going out to town and with military people. There was fights and all this crazy stuff. And, I didn't, do anything in particular. Just hung out. And then once it was around like 2 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, I was like, screw this. I'm tired. I'm drunk. I had drank like freaking, I don't know how many beers, and I drank countless beers and drinks, and I was just completely tore up. I get back to my hotel room, and I was hot, but I was also so tired that I didn't want to take anything off. So what I did was, I had taken off my pants, and in the process, my underwear had come off with my pants. And I just passed out face down on my bed. Next thing I know, I'm assuming it's around like 8, 9 in the morning, I hear a knock on my door. I'm like, I was still pretty hungover, so I didn't really like move. I figured, no one's gonna. I figured I had locked the door, and it was just housekeeping, and nothing was gonna happen. And then I hear my door open, so I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't close the door. But I was so hungover, it took so long to process that that by the time I even look up, so mind you, I'm not under the blankets. I'm freaking naked from the waist down, and I kind of like lift myself and I look at the housekeeping lady, and I'm like, this is literally what happened. This is exactly what I say. I go, yeah, and I just hear her like go, ah, and she runs out of the room. So now, of course, this is a funny story for me, but back then I was just like, oh my god, these people are gonna freaking kick me out of their hotel. This is after I woke up. It was funny because after that incident, they never came back to my room to clean my room. And I can only imagine what this lady thought when she walks into this room and she sees this guy half naked laying down on the bed, freaking yelling at her to get out. I thought that was funny. The rest of the trip really kind of went uneventful. I had, it was just a lot of fun. And what else did I do? Oh, I went onto the reef. It was just so beautiful just to, swim out and see everything like that. Well, anyways, that was just another short story and one of the crazy shit I've done while being in the Navy. That's about it, guys. So, I hope you guys like the gameplay. I went 39-7, and it is what it is, alright? It's Fiddle Optimus signing out. You guys take it easy. Deuces.